Good evening, everyone. Today, I will demonstrate my project using two ways. First of all, I will give a slide PPT on my project, and secondly, I will share a video demonstration on my project. So now let's moving on to the slide PPT. Let's see. Today's topic of my presentation is to avert air pollution caused by smoke using a renewable source of energy. Presented by Pragya Parashar, a student of Cotton University, Guwahati. At first, let's get a quick glimpse of my project. Here, I have used the solar panels to extract the sun's energy, and then I have transferred it to the battery charge controller, from where I have stored the energy in a battery. Now from the battery, I have transferred the energy to the three sources. First, inverters for the production of AC load. Second, directly the DC load. And third, the induction coil. I have used the induction coil as the power supply for the chimney, which works on the principle of electrostatic precipitator, from which smoke-free air is produced, which is the main motto of my project. Now, the question arises. What's the significance of my model? First, it prevents or reduces the air pollution. As we all know that the level of air pollution is a snowballing trend, and its key cause is smoke released from the exhaust of chimney. So, to prevent this air pollution, my project is based on. Now, moving on to the second reason, it's low cost. Third, it's efficient to use. Fourth, it's easy to make. Fifth, it uses a renewable source of energy. And last but not the least and the most important, it follows the simple principle of physics, which we will get to know in the later slides. As we all know that the electrostatic precipitator is not a new concept to us, as it's already in use in the household chimneys and industry. So, what makes my model unique? Now on this slide, we can see that my project uses the renewable source of energy, which is the sun's energy. I have used this energy to run the precipitator and parallelly have used the stored energy to generate electricity, which is one of the basic needs of the technological advanced society. Thus, we can see that my project serves us with a two-in-one purpose. Now, let's get a quick details of each of the components of my project. First, the renewable source of energy. Now, what's a renewable source of energy? As we all know that a renewable source of energy means the energy that is sustainable, like the wind, hydro, or the solar energy, etc. In my project, I have used the solar energy as the renewable source. Now, we know that the solar energy is the radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technology such as solar heating, photovoltaic, etc. The solar energy is trapped using solar panel, which is made up of solar cell. Now, what is a solar cell? A solar cell or a photovoltaic cell is an electrical device that converts the energy of light directly into electricity by the photovoltaic effect. As we can see in this figure, the solar cell is made up of P and N type of semiconductors, and when these semiconductors are joined, a depletion region is formed in between. When the photons of energy H nu strike on the surface, an electron-hole pairs is generated in the depletion region, as a result of which the holes shift towards the p side and the electrons move towards the n side and get accumulated, which results in the generation of voltage. After a time, the electron on the n side repel each other and flow out of the circuit and recombine with the hole in the p side, which leads to the generation of current and is supplied to the load. So this was the principle how a single solar cell works. Now when we combine a number of solar cells in series and parallel combination, a solar panel is produced, as I have shown in this figure. In my project, I have used this solar panel for the generation of energy. Till now, I have shown how we have generated current using solar panel. But when the sun is not present in the sky, we will not be able to get the solar energy. So we have to store this energy. In this slide, we will see how we can store the generated energy. The process consists of four main elements. First, the solar panel, which is used to store the sun's energy. I have connected this to the solar charge controller, which takes the DC power and regulate the voltage so that we can safely and efficiently charge the battery. The important point to note here is that the nominal operating voltage is 48 volt. Third, the battery. It is the core of an energy storage system and are essential to store electrical energy for use when needed. Then this battery is connected to an inverter, which converts 48 volt DC into 230 volt single phase AC or 380 volt three phase AC, which is used to power up all the devices in the house. So this was all about the components in the preparation of the precipitator. Now let's go to the main theme of the project, the electrostatic precipitator. In this slide, we will get a brief idea how the precipitator works. The process contains three main elements. First, the battery, second, the induction coil, and third, the chimney, which is the core of the precipitator. In this diagram, we see that the battery gives energy to the induction coil and it acts as the power supply of the chimney. Now, moving on to the next slide, the big question arises. Precipitator में कौन था? It was nothing but the simple principle of physics that like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Now let's see what's inside my chimney. In the chimney, I have used a metal grid in the lower section and two metal plates in the upper section. I have charged the metal grid to a very high negative voltage. So as the dirt particles pass through it, they pick up a negative charge. Now traveling through the pipe, they get the metal plates which I have charged to a very high positive voltage. So the negatively charged soot particles get attracted to the positively charged plates and stick there, and ultimately we get the waste gases without the smoke particle. Now moving on to the next slide, we see what are the uses of the precipitator and why I have used a DC voltage. First, it is used in the industries to control the particulate matter emission. Second, it can be used in a village area household to prevent smoke. And third, it is used in the household chimneys while cooking food. The important point to note here is that I have used a DC voltage in ESP because it is necessary to induce a charge on the particulate and then attract them to a plate by the use of an opposite charge. If I use an AC source, it would be changing constantly. That would leave our particulates picking up different charges at different times as they pass the plate. Further, these particulates would not be attracted to the plate because the plates would be changing polarity constantly. So this was all about my model. Thank you. Now let me show you the video demonstration that I have prepared.
This is my working model. As I have explained in my PPT, this is the solar panel I have used. When energy of each new will strike on here, it will be transferred to this battery charge controller. In this battery charge controller, I have used this LED for the indication of the generation of energy from the solar panel. Since if we can see that the light is glowing low, that means the generation of energy from solar panel is low due to dark. This battery charge controller is connected with the battery which stores the energy which can be used anytime. From this battery, I have given two connections. First, the connection is given to the electrostatic precipitator section and second to the other application section. In the electrostatic precipitator section, we can see this is a high voltage induction coil from which the negative wire has been connected to the lower section of the chimney which is connected to the metal grid, and the positive wire is connected to the upper section of the chimney which I have connected with the aluminum foil. In this chimney, I have given a hole in this side so that the smoke can be put from here and the smoke-free air comes out from this chimney here. Here I have used the switch for operation. Now I will show you the working of my model. I have used an agarbatti for the smoke. Now as I put the agarbatti in this hole, then first of all we can see that smoke is coming out of the chimney, but after a while when I on the switch, then with the time the smoke get reduces and after a while the smoke will be removed completely, or the amount of smoke coming out of the chimney will be reduced. Now this was the working of the precipitator. Now after a while when we are not using this precipitator, then we can use it to generate electricity from the stored energy of the battery. This is connected with this other application section where I will use to light up this lamp. Here I have given a switch. When I on this switch, we can see that the bulb glows. Thus, we can see that the stored energy from the solar panel can be used in two ways. First, for the use of the precipitator section, and second, for the generation of electricity.
So this was all about my model, and thus we can see that a simple principle of physics that unlike charges attract each other can save us as well as the environment. Thank you.